Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're interested on how I used a curling iron on myself for the first time and achieved these curls, then stay tuned and keep on watching. Alright, so this is what we're working with. I already tried curling one part, so that's pinned already. The rest is pretty much divided by half. As you can see, I have the top half clipped and the rest is hanging out looking crusty and dusty. But anyways, this is a curling iron I am using. It's by Babybliss. I think it's around 2 inches. Could be wrong, I don't know. I think it's 2 inches. So I'm gonna use that. I did watch a bunch of YouTube videos on how to do this. I even asked my hairstylist on how to do this and I struggled every single time. So I just decided to fight myself and say we're going to do this and we're going to try and succeed, even if we mess up a few times. So I'm starting off with this section. It's kind of big, not too big. And I was told to have the clamp part facing outward and then just go through it once or twice to straighten it out to get rid of any bumps. And then to do whatever this process is. Now right here, I'm not going to lie. I was panicking and I was having a mini heart attack because this thing is hot and it is super close to my ear. So I was stressed about that. But anyways, I'm leaving it for a few seconds. I honestly don't know what the temperature is on here. I didn't even adjust it. I kind of just left it. But it's high enough to curl. So I went ahead and took everything out and I put the kickstand out. I know it's not a kickstand, but I'm gonna call it a kickstand. And I just put it on the table so it doesn't start a fire. And then I just roll it up with my fingers. And then I take this little pin right here and I just pinned it to my head to make sure it doesn't fall out or move. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pretty much repeat this process. And I know I am not using a heat protectant. Please don't come for me. Also, this is one of the many struggles I faced when trying to curl my hair. So I'm just basically brushing out each strand first to make sure it's nice and straight. And then I am running the curling iron through a couple times to make sure I don't have any bumps and that it's as straight as possible. And then I go ahead and I start to do the curl. One of the YouTube videos I seen said just to follow it down and don't even touch the hair. So I kind of just tried doing that. And I kind of used this little clamp part to loosen it to get as close as possible to the end and then just rolled it up. It is a little confusing because on each side you kind of have to face it outward, but it's like the way you tuck in the curl is kind of awkward for me when I was doing this. So yeah. One of my biggest struggles when doing this was trying to get the curl outside of the curling iron and to make sure it was all in place. I don't know why my hair just wanted to stay attached to it and didn't want to come out. So a couple times I did have a little heart attack because it just would not come out and I thought my hair was gonna burn off. So eventually I kind of figured it out, but it was still a struggle. And then I just pinned it. And I was also scared because every time I would do this, I felt like I was gonna burn my ear or my neck, which I do burn myself quite a few times in this video. So be cautious of that. And also, I'm really happy I have acrylics because that's how I was able to get my curls out of the curling iron. If I had my fingers without nails, I would honestly burn myself more than I did. Now in the back of my head, I was struggling. It was awkward because I didn't know exactly how to curl it or which way to curl it. So that's what I was thinking about right there, and why I kept going through my hair, because I just didn't know how to do the curl until I figured it up and added all the numbers in my head and said, all right, this is what we gotta do. So that's what I did, and I just started hoping for the best because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just hoping for the best. So I'm just seeing if it's hot, using my fingers on the outside, and once I feel like it was hot and warm, I went ahead and released the clamp and struggled to get the curl out, and then I pinned it. Alright, this is the last section I'll be explaining and going over before speeding up the rest of the video. So again, just brushing it through. Again, when I said I switched sides and it's awkward, this is how awkward it is for me, because I just remembered that the clamp part has to face outward, and then you just roll it in. So that's what I'm doing. And I have to make sure the kickstand is down. I know it's not a kickstand, but calling it the kickstand, making sure it's not out, because a couple times before I did forget to put it down and it did get stuck to my hair, and it was a complete mess and accident. So I remembered the hard way to make sure the kickstand is down, and then to put the kickstand back up when I'm setting it on the table or counter or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, taking that curl out and just pinning it down. So now that we're speeding up, I basically just parted this section, and then I'm just keep parting it in different sections that makes sense to me. Kind of keeping the same amount of hair each time with thickness. So that's pretty much what I kept doing, and yeah. After that curl, I felt like I got the hang of this and that I was basically turning into a pro, even though I still don't know what I'm doing. I'ma just play it off and act like I do know what I'm doing a little bit. So that's why I was just like, okay, next section. And then I just basically did the same thing over and over, and yeah, just pinned it. Right, so I'm a little bit confident at this point, right? And then I played myself on this curl because I don't know what I was doing, but it like did this weird split thing, and I was just like, no, what? So then I had to go back in, and then I did it. But like, I let the confidence get to my head at first, and that's when that happened. But it's back to being good, I guess. Now, the reason why I'm curling my hair is because honestly, I love the curls. I think they look cute. They're pretty, and I love the way my hair color looks with it, if I'm being honest. But I struggled with it so much, I never tried to curl my hair. I kind of just left it. And after doing this process, I realized it is a very tedious process, that it took me forever to do this process. But I love the curls, and I thought it was worth it. And naturally, when it comes to using a wand or doing a blowout with using my blowout brush, or even straightening my hair, is a lot faster than this process, believe it or not. But I think it's just because I didn't know what I was doing and I was struggling, and it's my first time, so I'll probably get faster eventually. But yeah, I really like these curls, and it's different from, using a blowout brush or the wand. A wand, I feel like it gives more of a wave-like texture, where this is a solid, thick curl, which I just love. When parting my hair and everything into sections, I tried to make sure I did my best to make sure everything was symmetrical as much as possible. So if I did something on my right side of my head, I made sure to do it on the left side of my head and tried to make sure it was balanced out and looked okay. And as you can tell right here, I'm struggling because going back and forth between sides, it throws you off. At least it threw me off, but I was able to figure it out. And right here, I almost burned my face. But anyways, it looks like a rough process, and it was. So yeah. Just with that one piece, I burned myself at least a good 4 or 5 times. As you can see, it's such a tedious process for me. I had to sit back and just chill because sitting up was breaking my back, and I didn't need that. I needed to sit back and relax a little bit. And when I did that, I burned myself a little bit. But anyways, these curls are being consistent, and I like that. At this point, I am almost done. I have 4 sections left, and I went ahead and did a middle part because that's just what I'm used to. I like a middle part because I feel like it just frames my face nicely. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm struggling of which way to put the curling iron because this is kind of towards the back of my head. So I'm struggling as usual until I just struggled. Anyways, I don't know why, but whenever I'm styling my hair, when it comes to the front part, it's my favorite. I feel like it just adds a little oomph, it just does something to me when it's towards the front because I'm like, ooh, okay, this is what it looks like towards my face. It's just a vibe. Can't really explain it. It's just a good feeling. And during this process, you just know I'm listening to music or watching TV because it's time consuming. I can't just sit there doing that with no music and no TV because at that point I just feel so demoted, like unmotivated. I need motivation, and the music, that's what kept me going. And I was listening to my Spanish music, some Carol G. Shout out to Carol G. Her music be fire. Even though I don't understand Spanish, her music be fire, and that's what I was listening to. But I do understand a little bit, so I know what she's saying, and it gets to me. See right here, this piece specifically, this front piece specifically, my favorite. That curl looks bomb that fell out, and I'm mad that it fell out, but it looks bomb, so I'm not too mad at it. But this curl, like this section of my head, I'm obsessed with when it comes to styling. I don't know why. Same on the other side. It's just feels good to me. After all the struggles and all the burns, we are finally at the last two pieces. See right there, I had to make sure I took that kickstand down because it got stuck in my hair before. So I was happy I remembered that. But anyways, just gonna go ahead and do this curl. And I don't know why, but with the colors, it just looks good. And that piece that kept falling, I wanted to fight it, but I can't because I'm technically fighting myself. But I was ready to throw hands with that curl. And I literally used like 2 different clamps to stick it into place because it kept falling out. But anyways, it stood in place, and we went ahead, finished this curl, and then we got one more curl, and we done. We will be done. Also, a little side note, please excuse and ignore my face reactions. I do not know how to control my face and the reactions. It just does whatever. Like whatever I'm thinking will show up on my face unintentionally. It just does. Now this is finally the last piece. This is also my favorite piece because again, it's that part that just frames your face and just looks bomb. So we're on the last piece finally, and I'm hoping that like I don't have to go back into my hair and recurl parts, which normally you probably would, but I just hoped for the best that I didn't have to do that. And yes, I did burn myself again. Make sure I put that kickstand down, and then here we are just pinning it. And right when I pinned it, I felt like a specific person, and I'm gonna show you who that person is. But that's what my head looked like. Now the person I look like, I'm gonna insert a photo now. This is who I felt like. This is what the curls reminded me of. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and start taking out the pins. It did get hot, so I changed my shirt, but I'm going ahead and I'm just taking out all the pins now. And I'm not really brushing it out, I'm not pulling it down or anything. I am just literally removing the pins in the exact order I also curled it. That way the first pieces are fully cool, and then the rest has more time to cool, but it's all pretty much cool. But I'm just gonna go in and start taking it out. And honestly, while doing this process of taking out and seeing how the curls are looking, I'm pretty satisfied. I'm not complaining at all because I think they look pretty decent, especially for being my first time. I think I did pretty good. Now, this part right here, one of the clips got stuck and it hurt really bad, and I was debating, should I get some scissors and just cut it out? But I did not know how to get it out. It was stuck somehow. So I struggled trying to get it out to the point I ripped out my hair. But I have a lot of hair, so I wasn't too mad. I was just upset because it kind of hurt my head. But it came out. So since that, I was very cautious of how I took out the rest. And I got scared because I thought the rest were going to do that. But it turned out fine. All my hair is there. I have no bald spots. So it's pretty much good. Also, while I was waiting for the curls to cool down and I had them pinned, I felt like a couple people. I felt like how they did in the 1950s when they would do the pin curls, which I love because I love the 1950s. I also kind of felt like the 90s, which I also love. And then I felt like someone's grandma. And that, I honestly did not mind. If I'm being honest, I really didn't care, but it was a little vibe or whatever. Now I'm just taking some hairspray. This has got to be hairspray. And I'm just going ahead and spraying my curls before brushing it out with a comb. And then I went ahead and took out the last two pieces, which I was scared for because those are my favorite pieces. That's the part that frames my face. So I was scared, but I was so happy with how it looked. It looks so cute. But anyways, after spraying it and letting it cool down a little bit, I just took a white tooth comb. I think that's what it's called, right? White tooth comb. Combed it out. This is what she's looking like. I like it. I think it looks good. Here's a picture of the back because I forgot to record the back, but it looks so good. Anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.